Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So about a year ago, maybe a little longer, I can't exactly remember when, I introduced this guy on my channel. This is the Adler Super Splitter. And it's named properly because this thing is a beast when it comes to splitting firewood. You can see from that head profile, it is absolutely meant to split firewood, and it does a fantastic job doing so. This bad boy comes in at 8 pounds overall. The head is 6 pounds all by itself, and then the handle and strike guard bring it up to 8 pounds. So this bad boy is a monster, and I'll tell you what, if you swing this for any amount of time, you will quickly realize that you are swinging an 8-pound axe. However, there isn't much that this thing won't split. So if I have some stubborn wood, this thing is king. And I've said this many times over, the Adler Super Splitter is king. Downside, it's very heavy. That's a lot to swing for an extended amount of time. But I do love this axe. It's a traditional style axe, obviously. You know, it has a hickory handle. They do a little bit of paint down here and some like a grip paint towards the fawn's foot. It does come with a nice leather sheath. For the money, guys, if you're a traditional axe style guy, this can't be beat. I don't think there's anything you could buy in that category that would be better. With that being said, I would like to introduce you guys to its little brothers. The Lomg Splitter and the Short Splitter. Oh my goodness. So real quick, little history about Adler, and I'm not going to give you a lot, just that the company's been in business since 1919. I believe it's on the 4th generation of family owned, and they are made in Germany. So these are very, very high quality for what I believe to be a very fair price. So I believe the Adler Super Splitter comes in around $150 to $160, somewhere around there. I'm not 100% sure. The Lomg Splitter comes in right around $140, and the Short Splitter comes in right around $120. All of this is going to be plus shipping. I'll see if I can find affiliate links for Amazon and leave them in the description below, and prices may change. I don't know. I don't have any control over the prices. I'm just telling you what they are currently, 2023 September. You know how much I love the Adler Super Splitter. I've had the opportunity to swing these two axes here recently. Not so much the Short Splitter. I'm actually saving this for a different use. And I'll get into that in a second. But I have been swinging the heck out of this Lomg Splitter, and I'm going to tell you what, this is my new favorite splitting axe. I'm just going to say it is my new favorite splitting axe. So what do we have? What is this thing? It's a 4-pound head with a 31 and a half inch hickory handle. Same paint scheme, same grippy paint on the bottom of the handle. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't a big fan of this paint, but after using it, it does help. Your hands get wet from sweat, and here earlier I was splitting in a little bit of rain, and there was no slippage at all. I had full control over this axe. I don't have any hot spots to say in my hands. They feel fine, and that's after probably a good solid hour of splitting firewood. So I do like, now that I've used this, I do like that feature on these handles. But nothing but high quality here, guys, throughout. I can't say enough about the quality of these axes. They are hung very well. There's no slippage at all on these heads. The handles are just, they're perfect. Excellent craftsmanship. All of their axes do have these strike guards, and as you can see, it's a good idea because, you know, things happen. Of course, I'm being a little less careful with this, knowing that strike guard is there. If there was no strike guard, then I would take a little bit more care into not hitting this part of the axe, because that is exactly how you break your axe. But it is a profile to split wood. It's got these big wings on it that help just blow the wood apart. It has a nice narrow blade that starts off, you know, nice and narrow. It's not super sharp. You know, it's traditionally maul. This is more of a maul than an axe. Traditionally, they wouldn't be sharp. It's sharp enough, but it's pretty thin on the bit, so it allows that bit to get in the wood and just travel up these big wide wings and, you know, blow the rounds apart. It's an absolute fantastic design. They do that and keep the weight down at the same time. I mean, 4 pounds, you guys can comfortably swing this thing. It's not going to wear you out, and it works very well. I do like that this edge is thinner. It helps penetrate the wood, and it's nice. It's a little bit sticky too, so you can like pick up your rounds. And the style of splitting I do, I split straight on the ground, so I don't like to bend over. I like to grab the round with my axe, and this works well for that. So I don't know what else to say about it other than it absolutely works. And you know, I get a lot of crap in my videos for using the Fisker axes, and no, I'll stand by everything I've ever said about Fisker axes. I still like them. I still use them, and I will continue to keep them in the rotation for the reasons that I mentioned in videos about the Fisker axes. If you guys want to watch that, go watch those. But if for my traditional axe guys, my traditional wooden handle guys, you've been screaming and just pounding away in that keyboard, you know, how you don't like the plastic handles and you prefer wood, and I get all that. I'm with you guys. These guys nailed it. This is a good compromise when it comes to a splitting axe. It's an excellent choice. Traditional hickory wooden handle, a design that works for splitting wood. It's just a very good all-around axe. The Adler Super Splitter has been going strong for, it's got to be over a year. And this has not come loose. The screws haven't tried to back out, nothing, you know, so it's a proven design that works. Of course, all their axes come with a pretty decent leather sheath. It's not terrible. I would say it's on par with anything you'd buy from Gransfors. So if you're familiar with Gransfors, then you'll understand that. Looks to me like a veg tan leather, more of a top grain leather, a little on the cheaper side of the veg tan. They do use these rivets. Nothing wrong with that. Rivets with some stitching, so there's no welt in the sheath. Not a deal breaker. It's better than nothing. And these axes aren't super sharp, so it's not absolutely necessary to have the sheath, but it's nice that they come with it. So it's little brother, the little brother of the three. This is a 19.6 inch handle with a let me look at my notes, 2.7 pound head. Same deal. It's got these big wings to help blow your rounds apart. Nice thin blade profile to help penetrate the wood. Again, it has the strike guard on it, the painted handle with the grip down below. I want to note, all of these handles have a hole drilled in them for a little leather lanyard. And this isn't necessarily something that you'd put around your wrist, or, you know, you'd probably want to take this off. It kind of gets in the way, the little tag here, the Adler tag. But for hanging the axes, you know, for when you're storing them, hanging them up, I love that for that. Just being able to hang it up. I like that little feature. It's just these little details that they really excel. All the heads have these barrel wedges in them. These are absolutely bulletproof wedges. You know, traditional wooden wedge in the kerf. Like, come on, guys. These things check the box for all of us traditional axe guys. All the handles have the Adler logo etched into them, made in Germany. You know, loud and proud right there for you to see. There's no coating on the wood. I believe that they put boiled linseed oil on them. Maybe. I don't know that for sure, but there's no wax. There's no varnish. There's no nothing. It's raw wood ready for your finish. You can see this one's got a little bit of patina on it already from me using it. It's darkened up a bit. And then this one's had a couple layers of Killinger snake juice on it. It's smooth now. I mean, these are all features that you get with a traditional style axe with a wooden handle. You know, the romance of using a traditional tool. There's nothing quite like it. There's no shock in these things. When you smack around, you don't feel none of it. It's just a quick thud, and it's over with. No vibration in your arms. Just a joy to use. I literally was just out there splitting with this for at least an hour, and I'm not fatigued at all. I could go out there and split more. I only stopped because it got dark. You know, that's saying something when you're hand splitting firewood, you know, and you're not getting worn out because you're not, you know, your arms aren't numb from vibrating and stuff like that. It's just everything you want in a traditional handle. I will say the thickness on them is right around medium thickness. They're just a bit wider than a thumb. Not quite a Killinger handle, but very, very close. These guys have a really good compromise. You know, these are big, heavy axes. You want a little thicker handle, but they're not crazy. They're very comfortable to hold. I mean, I could just hang on to this thing all day. It fits like a glove. The eye style on these is a little different than the American. It's flat back here versus round, but that still feels comfortable to grip up by the head. The balance on these axes is fantastic. You know, it is head heavy, but I have no trouble at all manipulating the axe to do flicks and stuff like that. Anything you want to do when you're splitting firewood, I'm capable of doing with these axes. So here in the future, I'm going to do a little bit more swinging with this bad boy. I see this more of a camp splitter than a actual firewood splitter, but it will work. I did swing it a couple times on some firewood rounds, you know, 16-inch firewood rounds, and it works fine. But I'd like to try this in more of like a camp-like setting, so stay tuned for that video. Guys, I don't know what else to say about these. I'll let you guys enjoy the footage of me using this Lomg Splitter, and we'll see you in the next video.